Hi, boys and girls. Happy Earth Day. April 22nd is Earth Day every year. It's the day where we think of what can we do to help take care of our Earth in a better way. And I challenged you on Monday to do a little project and write about some ways you can take care of the Earth. If you didn't get to that project, you can go ahead and write in your journal today, how can I take care of the Earth, and think of some ideas. So one way is recycling, and I want to show you today the steps I use to make my own paper. And you can do this. You can recycle paper and make new paper, because if we have to keep making fresh paper and not paper from recycled paper, we are hurting our environment because we're cutting down a lot of trees. And there are many steps in making paper. First of all, the tree is broken down, then it's processed, and it's mixed and becomes a pulp mixture with water. Then they go through stages of flattening and drying and cutting it into sheets. Then they might add materials to it to make it different textures and colors. And then they produce what kind of paper is it going to be. Is it going to be a paper plate, a paper bag, a piece of notebook paper, a piece of tag board? And then it's packaged. All those steps, but it starts with trees. But we can make paper from old paper. We can take paper that we've recycled and we can make our own paper. And there are places when we recycle our papers, they can make it into new paper. So here are the steps I use to make my recycled paper. The other day, I ripped pieces of paper from construction paper, and I ripped them into tiny pieces, kind of like this. And then I put them in my blender, so of course you would have to have a grown-up help you with this. And I added some water and mixed it up, and that was the pulp mixture. Then I made sure I had something like a bucket that I could make sure the mess drips inside. And I took a thin screen like this. This was over a window at one time. A thin screen, or you could even use a thick screen from a window. If somebody has an old window screen, you could use. And I carefully, over my sink and over the bucket, poured the pulp mixture over my screen. I took a second piece of screen and I pressed out some of the water with my rolling pin. And then I took that pulp mixture that had the water pressed out and I set it in the sun for a couple days. It was since Sunday, so it took about 3 days for this to completely dry out. And then I was able to peel it off the screen. And you can see it's a different kind of texture because I don't have all the big tools a recycling center would have. But I remade the paper. Now I could paint something, maybe do a spring picture and think about taking care of the earth. So I hope you enjoyed paper making, and I want to challenge you to go on Pebbles Go. There's a great site about paper. Just put in the search for paper and you'll see a book called Paper that goes through the stages of making paper, and you'll learn some more facts about paper. I hope you enjoyed this mini science lesson.